Are we live? Did we do it? Okay, we're live. We did it. Okay. Okay, and you know what? Ken, we got a delay on the screen here. So, are you seeing a delay on the screen backstage?
No, actually, I'm not. So I think you should be good. But Lily, Kenny, give us your response in the live chat. Are you seeing a delay on the screen?
Yeah, let us know there. Okay. Oh, you know what? There probably is a delay on my computer screen, not my phone. Okay, got it. I just need to
Okay.
look at the phone. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys, so crazy, 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 crazy town. All right, I don't have my lighting up. I'm like, what's going on? My computer, that I got stuff not working on one, stuff not working on the other, and nothing is syncing up together, but that's okay. We made it work. I'm on my phone, which I don't like being on my phone to do these lives, but we're going to make it work anyway. And somebody says, turkey or no turkey? That is the question. Turkey, always. Yes, yes, definitely turkey. Let's see who we have in the chat who is so patient. We got Silly Lily. Thank you so much. While gosh, that was 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes of tech issues. That is crazy. So sorry about that. It works one day and then it doesn't. So Kenny is here waiting for the tech issues to resolve. So glad you're here, Kenny. We're referring to ourselves in the third person, right? Yes, yes. Dr. Paula was having tech issues. Well, the reason you're seeing that it looks like in third person is because Lily and Ken were very kind to post for me under my name, which is why it appears as though I'm speaking in the third person to myself. So, but okay, so definitely Turkey. We got Timo Mimo. Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you. And duct tape. I know for real, duct tape could just, yeah, duct tape works with everything. Okay, so it must be a stunt double. All right. And then I got, of course, as soon as I go live, I got the dog clanking at the door to want to go out. Cindy Lou, I look like Cindy Lou who? No, not at all. She's cute, isn't she? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, didn't have a chance to do my hair, did put some makeup on. So, all right. This is going to be the first of a few lives that I do because we're entering the holidays. We just came off of Thanksgiving, and I'm going to do that so I'm not screaming in the house here. We just came off of Thanksgiving here in the United States, and it is our kickoff to um, to the holidays. It's the kickoff to food season. It's the kickoff to sugar season. It's the kickoff to 6 weeks of complete and utter health destruction. And I don't like that. I don't like that for you. I don't live my life like that because we can't go weeks like that and expect good things to happen for us and for our health. So it's really important that you tighten up the reins a little bit more as we go into the holidays so that you can be as protective of yourself, protective of your health, protective of your mind, your sleep. It's critical. The average person will gain about 5 pounds through the holidays because excess alcohol, excess sugar, all of the carbohydrates. It just seems to never end. And for whatever reason, we go into this time of year and we end up, it's like you've gotten permission to be able to just be completely destructive with your health. And that's also not okay. You don't ever get permission to do that for weeks on end. You might have an indulgent time here or there, but when you're doing it for weeks on end, you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Do I have a food addiction? What's actually, what's going on that I can't stop myself from eating all of this stuff? Um, so yeah, no 5 pounds here. You really gain it all. Y2K, Adrian, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. We've got 12 people here watching. So if you wouldn't mind, please hitting the subscribe, give us a like, make a nice comment from wherever you're in. We're live from Facebook YouTube. It's all about the biology on YouTube, Dr. Paula Ruffin on YouTube, and Facebook also on New Hudson Chiropractic Wellness. So wherever you're from, please go ahead and make sure you share this out for us so we can get the information out. So this is going to be a really good one because I created a really cool download for you. And I'm actually gonna, Ken's got it here backstage. I don't need it up just yet, Ken. I'll let you know when we're gonna pull that up. But it's really a great download. And here's why everybody needs this. I was at Thanksgiving dinner with some friends, and when you have to eat food that other people that make, that you don't know who they are and how they cook, this becomes even more critical that you pay attention. And I ran into a situation where the things that I was eating, there was a ton of sugar in them. So I took like one bite. It was the sweet potatoes. I realized they were like, I don't even know how much sugar was in there, but I took one bite and I was like, I couldn't eat anymore. Um, the cheesy potatoes were made with Velveeta. We're going to talk about that. Why is that bad? Why is Velveeta bad? Hmm. And then there were some cookies that were made with Cool Whip. Why is that bad? And a lot of you might not think it's bad, but the problem is we are told by the food industry that these food-like substances are safe, that they're good for our health, that Velveeta is nothing but chemicals. And and so, when I took one bite and I asked the woman sitting next to me, I said, "Did you make the potatoes?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Oh, what kind of cheese did you use?" And she said, "Velveeta." And I was like, "Oh, good." And that was it. I didn't take another bite. Um, so, it's wrecking. And then over the course of the evening, and this is where I'm like, boy, she's not the only one. She's diabetic. She had a quadruple bypass over the summer. She's 61 years old. She's quite young. And but this is how she eats. And she was saying, oh, that the Cool Whip cookies are free for diabetics, and Cool Whip doesn't have sugar in it. And what's wrong with Velveeta? And it's all of this stuff. And it's like, that's why you ended up with a quadruple bypass, because it's these sort of like typical American cheat foods, if you will. Again, like the American, if they did it, and I was trying to look it up, but with the tech issues, I couldn't find it. But with the American Dietetics Institute, or whatever it is, American Dietetics Association, something like that, whoever governs the diabetes, do they tell people that Cool Whip and Velveeta are okay? Like, is that, and if that doesn't tell you that these huge food corporations have completely bought out the American population and have them completely snowed and completely duped, because you can't eat that stuff for years. You're eating plastic. You're eating plastic, and so you're going to get inflammation in the arteries. You're going to get inflammation in your body. It's going to lend itself to chronic inflammatory issues. Um, so it inspired me to put this list of things together for you so that we could go through and look at what are the top, I call it the dirty 30. So what are the top 30 food-like substances have you been made to think are good for you, why they're bad, and what should you be using instead? Excuse me, a little hiccup. So I think it's going to be really cool. If you want the download, you're going to email me. I think I put my email I think it's in the show notes. And you can email me, and you'll email Dirty 30, and I will be sure to email you the download. So it's going to be cool. But in the meantime, so I want you to start paying attention. And this is where also I made bread dressing. So bread dressing for me is like, that's my indulgent thing at Thanksgiving, is I want turkey, bread dressing, and gravy. Like, that's it. I don't need anything else. And so I made the bread dressing. So I controlled all the things that went into it, because I didn't want to go there and, eat somebody's stovetop stuffing, which has a ton of chemicals in it as well. So, if you're, always ask, what can I bring? My daughter brought macaroni and cheese and she killed it. It was so good. And, she made the cheese sauce from scratch. It was all good, high quality cheeses. She used high quality noodles, cooked it perfectly. And, again, there was no Velveeta in the mac and cheese. So we only use like good, fresh ingredients in this household. Um, so let me just go through our chat real quick. Y2K Adrian is in the tropics. Oh, lovely. Send some sun this way. We got 4 inches of snow today. Um, and let's see, Cindy Lou Who. Yeah, Kenny Skinny. We got that. Let's see. Um, I think the holidays are a test. I think so too. And it is the worst time of year to be healthy. And you end up getting into a situation where then it's hard to say no. You feel like, oh, it's not polite to say no. You don't want to push people away. You don't want to insult them by not eating their food, but it's okay just to say that looks great. Thank you anyway. And just sort of like, move on with it. Um, and then somebody says here, see, that's why you should eat sweet potatoes. Well, you should. Kenny, did you mean shouldn't eat sweet potatoes? Because then you called them the devil. I love sweet potatoes and I love sweet potato casserole, but not when they're laden with so much sugar, they're inedible. And Cool Whip is full of crap, fluff, and stuff. Yep, that's on my list too, Lily. Um, and marshmallows are on the list. Whip your own cream with no sugars, way better. I agree, Tio Mimo. And I actually put a little bit of cinnamon, a little maple syrup when I make my own uh whipped cream. So it's so yummy that way. Cereal breakfast food is trash food. Yes, it is. John Jude, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And Shawnee Grows, hey, welcome back in. So nice to see you again. You had 7 inches of snow. Awesome. Made wild rice soup with microgreens. That sounds delicious. I did bring home, they were leaving to go out of town on Thursday after Thanksgiving. And so they gave me the whole turkey carcass. So I threw that into a big pot, tons of vegetables, some root vegetables in there, and I boiled the heck out of that for about 6 hours on Friday. And it made the most amazing turkey soup. So we're still eating on that. Let's see. Yes, sweet. I don't think sweet potatoes need sugar. They're just, maybe a little maple syrup, but maybe not. I don't know. I agree with you, Ghetto Hippie. I think yeah, sweet potatoes are, they're kind of perfect. I like roasting them in the air fryer and then dipping them in mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, Kenny, just to be clear on that. So, all right. So I think next week, this week, I was going to get more into how do you protect yourself when you go to parties? How do you choose what to eat? What should you make? What kinds of things should you be looking for? And I think I'm going to save that for next week and get a little deeper into that. And because it's really our first week in December, but basically, I always say make sure you eat something that's high protein in the afternoon so that you don't do not go to these parties hungry because that will be the death of you. And then you want to make sure you are staying well hydrated, very much limiting your alcohol. If you're going to drink, always have a glass of water alongside of it. Bring a dish that you find is worthy for you to eat as well. So, maybe it's a veggie tray, maybe it's a tray of meatballs, something good, high protein, something that's good and healthy because you're going to be the only one that's really going to bring the healthy thing. So, so those are just a couple of my tips. And then as we get further into the holidays, I'll give you more tips as we go through. And Tio Mio, yes, no alcohol is the best. But yeah, that's not as realistic for too many people. Mayo made without canola oil. Yeah, we make our own mayonnaise with avocado oil, and it's so good. And sweet potatoes with cinnamon and honey. I love that idea. Um, Surprised that brown rice has poison from the water pollution in the US. Is that the whole arsenic thing, John Jude? Aioli is better. I love a good aioli. Yeah, we got some buffering going on here. Somebody had posted um today that, what was it? Oh, Chobani yogurt, which is also on my list, pre-sweetened yogurts it's a class action lawsuit because there is supposedly PFAS. So PFAS are the forever chemicals. You guys know I've been doing tons of videos on that over the last couple of years, and apparently, so there's this class action lawsuit, and I replied to the video and I said, unfortunately, because I had done multiple videos on PFAS, and one of the ones I had done was on Kerrygold butter, and that Kerrygold butter has PFAS in it. But the problem is that anything that runs through a tube to get to where it could be any, like any milk product, because the milk went through a tube to get processed to then go into the cheese or the cottage cheese or any of the dairy products, or um any of that stuff, or the wrapper that goes around the cheese or that goes around the butter, all that stuff, the plastics in the chobani, it's everywhere. Like we can't escape it. So unless I make my own yogurt, but I'm getting milk that probably went through plastic tubing to get into the container. So it's one of those where you do have to make the best choices for yourself and just try to figure out what's the least of any insult. So with that said, can go ahead and pull up for me that document. Let's see. So I see it on my phone. Yeah, I got a delay on my computer, and I think it's just my computer. Hold on. You can't make that bigger, can you, Ken?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay, let me see if I can make my. Honey, can you let the dog out? Who? 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 Oh, I thought he just scratched at the door. Okay. I'm trying to make my screen bigger, but there we go. Okay. I did. Okay. I made my screen bigger, but now I won't be able to see the chat. So we'll go through this. So if there's any good questions in there, Ken, go ahead and maybe star those or something, or keep track of those. Because I got two issues going on here. God, I can't see the chat, but I can't see the document. But now I got it big. All right, so we've got this document up here. This is Dr. Paula's Dirty 30 Toxic Holiday Food Swap Guide. And this is really your key to making sure that you are protecting yourself. You're having more of an anti-inflammatory impact on your health. You're not.
We just
You,
lost.
what's
Yeah, we
that?
lost your sound there for a second. I don't know. Your sound keeps cutting out. We have nothing on sound. Try talking now.
Uh, is that better? Did you get me?
We
Can
can
you hear me
hear
now?
you. Yeah. So try
Can you hear
again.
me? Try hello, hello. Hold on.
Yeah, we
Got
can
me?
hear you.
Okay. I just put my phone in airplane mode. I had a call pop through. So I think that stole my microphone for a second. So I
Yes.
just put it in airplane mode. So hopefully that will solve the problem. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. All right. So we have the Dr. Paula's Dirty 30 Toxic Holiday Food Swap Guide. Um, as we go through this, I want you to be able to have this. So again, you can email me. I will email it back to you. Just email me, put dirty 30 in the subject line if you want to make a comment, a nice comment, send me a nice comment, and I will send this to you. This is going to be great. You can send this to your friends, family members. I think this is really important for everybody to have. Um, so here we go. On our first, you can see here, I got this lined up in 3 columns. So we have toxic ingredients, why it's a problem, and then what would be the good, clean food swap that you can make. So Cool Whip it's one molecule away from plastic. It is made with all kinds of chemicals, hydrogenated oils, high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors. It's so inflammatory. Now, I hope people aren't eating this every day, but it's important to recognize that when you start stacking everything that I'm talking about here, you're probably doing something from this list every single day. So you might be like, oh, I only eat Cool Whip once a year. Yeah, but what are you doing the rest of the year? So, I encourage you make real whipped cream. It's not that difficult. You can make whipped cream with heavy whipping cream. You can make it with coconut cream. It's coconut cream, whipped cream is so yummy. So I would encourage you to make that swap there. When you start cooking with real ingredients. When you start to swap out all the fake foods in your kitchen, in your pantry, you start to realize there's a whole new gastronomic world out there. Your taste buds will be like, I don't know how I ever ate that stuff. And you'll start to realize like how badly you feel when you eat that stuff too. So Velveeta it's just a fake cheese. It's made with a whole bunch of chemicals, with dyes, with preservatives. There's nothing real in there. I think it has whey in it. Whey, WHAHEY, which is a milk protein, and I think that's about it. Um, Opt for real cheddar. Gruyere, I don't know where the rest of my sentence went there, but um, uh, if you get some good quality cheeses, you could do mild cheddars, you could do sharp cheddars. Start playing with the different cheeses out there. There's so many different flavor profiles, and you will absolutely be like, wow, a whole new world has opened up from the cheese perspective. Canned cream soups, these are really popular at the holidays. And we've got the what is it? The there. We've got our green bean casserole. We have any like noodle dishes, noodle casseroles. People will use these for the potatoes. So canned cream soups, there's monosodium glutamate. They're full of vegetable oils, modified starches. So you want to opt for homemade roux, a broth. A roux is when you take the broth and you mix it with flour and you make like it thickens it up. So you're basically cooking that and then you slowly add more stock in. And so that's what I did. I took that whole turkey carcass and I threw it in a pot. And so it leached out all of um uh the collagen, it leached out all the calcium, it leached out all the nutrients from the bones, the cartilage and everything, and it's absolutely delicious. Marshmallow fluff. Lily, I think you mentioned marshmallow fluff in there. And yes, so it's full of corn syrup, more stabilizers. And so, if you just did coconut cream whip, so you open up a can of coconut cream and you just take that and you just whip it. It's really accomplishes the same thing and it's more flavorful. Store-bought whipped topping, so right up there with the Cool Whip too. A lot of oils, artificial flavors. It has the propellants in them. So, and the nitrous oxide. So we want to avoid that. Again, there's our coconut cream whip, so versatile. Box stuffing mix. So, I was like, I didn't want to risk, eating box stuffing, so I brought my own. The label on, let's say, stovetop stuffing is atrocious, and so we want to avoid that at all costs. There's monosodium glutamate too in the seasonings of that. And so if you can make your own sourdough or you just buy some good sourdough bread, you could do a cornbread stuffing, add your own herbs, add broth to it. Stuffings are super easy to make. They really don't take much at all. Canned cranberry sauce. So that also made an appearance at Thanksgiving. So high fructose corn syrup. So they just add a ton of sugar to the cranberries in the can. They put dye in there. It causes a blood sugar crash. It causes impact on your gut. And it's nothing to make fresh cranberries. You add in a little bit of orange. You can put in maple syrup. There's so many different ways that you can make cranberry sauces that are really quite wonderful. And it doesn't have to be just at the holidays. You could do a cranberry chutney. You could put that on like your homemade sourdough. You could put it over yogurt. Super delicious. Packaged gravy mixes, also a no-no. You're going to have your hydrolyzed proteins, again, very inflammatory, caramel color, plus, again, monosodium glutamate. Most of this stuff has MSG and a lot of chemicals that create an inflammatory impact. So take the pan drippings, or if you've made any kind of bone broth or any kind of stock, make your roux, and you can easily make your gravy from there. Non-dairy creamers. boy, people love their non-dairy creamers. So the non-dairy and then creamer, what's it made with? Well, they gotta make it thick. They have to make it milk-like. So there's a lot of seed oils and corn syrup solids. It's a hormone disruptor. Um, what's that? What? Gums? Oh, gums, gums. My daughter says gums. Yes. Yes. There's a lot of gums in them as well. And and so you want to do real cream or a coconut milk again. Real cream, like heavy cream in your coffee and your tea, so much better than these non-dairy creamers. And of course, most of you insist you love them because you're like, oh, I love the hazelnut and I love the whatever vanilla cream or whatever. You guys are so bad for you, and you're spiking your blood sugar first thing in the morning. It's just not a great practice. So I really encourage you to try to just wean yourself off of them. They're not doing your body much good. Um, Tub frosting. So we get into cookies, cakes, um, cupcakes. And so it would be really easy to get a tub frosting, but you've got trans fats, dyes, artificial flavors. You can make your homemade buttercream. I don't know why this got cut off here. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. I didn't notice that when I formatted it. But so my daughter's birthday was last week, and I made a homemade carrot cake and I made a homemade cream cheese frosting. I cut back on the sugar and it was delicious. So you can do this. It's not that much of a difference. Um, let's see. Before we go to page 2, let me smallen my screen. So it takes a second. I don't know why my big computer is just stuck. Okay. All right, where's our comments? Oh, let's see. Oh gosh, I'm super stuck now. There we go. Oh, wait. I just make sure I'm keeping up with the comments here for you guys. Before we go to page 2. There we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. The arsenic and rice. So much is just in our food that we don't even know. PFAS are placed in packages intentionally. I don't know about that. I think they're so pervasive and it's hard to get around them. Oh yeah, arrowroot too, Lily. I forgot about that. Arrowroot's a great thickener to make a roux with as well. Lily says I cook real cranberries and orange juice as a natural sweetener. Delicious, right? You could actually like put a whole orange in there, like puree and orange would be so yummy. Thank you, Ghetto Hippie. Carrageenan and locust gum. I think those were the ones I was looking for. Um, so this is, let's see. Okay. Oh, that was so cool how you do. Okay, so just real quick. So you guys starred the comments when I made the screen big because I couldn't see the comments, and they're in a completely separate place for me to go back to. So very good. I do want to come here though. Because there's a few more. Shawnee says, I have new seeds to plant still. Oh, she's doing microgreens. Okay, and you guys can hear me okay. We went from all glass to plastic for everything, so toxins can be introduced into consumer goods. I mean, I think it was a convenience factor, and they didn't care, like a lot of things. So like, whatever, we'll fix that too. Strawberries are the dirty fruit, as often handled by field workers with poor hygiene. That's by John Jude. So strawberries are on the dirty dozen from the Environmental Working Group. And a lot of it is also because there's so many places that bacteria can hide on a strawberry because all the seeds um, and the texture of it. So yeah, they are one of the dirtiest ones. So you definitely want to make sure you're having them organic if you can. Um, we used to grow mung beans, corn, soy, sunflower, radish, pea microgreens. So fun. See, I got Lily's comment about boxed stuffing. Kenny says stovetop rocks. Kenny, you're like all the things I'm talking about today. And no, I did not spend Thanksgiving with Kenny. Let's see what else we got. The rennet and cheese came from Pfizer. We can argue that we are being manipulated scientifically as test subjects. citric acid is a waste byproduct from dangerous black mold. I don't know I don't know about that from rennet. I thought the rennet was my grandparents and my mom, everybody used to make cheese and they used rennet. So I'm not sure about that comment. Citric acid comes from corn. I don't know about it as a waste product from dangerous black mold, not saying that's not true, but I'm unaware of that. I do know it comes from corn, so it's usually from non-GMO corn, also incredibly inflammatory. Um, and he says, yes, cranberry sauce is of the devil. Nothing should shimmer on my plate except for Jello. Well, yeah, you shouldn't have cranberry sauce from a can. That's like, yeah, I'm on the swap side of the list. Lily says, so proud of myself. I'm still on the search for non-dairy creamer. Ken is unfortunately hooked on Southern Butter Pecan Coffee Creamer. Oh, God, Lily just ratted him out. Death by
I
a thousand.
know. I mean, come on.
He's sitting there. He's trying to hide backstage there. Ghetto Hippie says death by 10,000 small cuts, 100%. And that's why we have leaky gut syndrome. And we have an epidemic of just chronic illnesses among the adults. 80% of adults in the United States have, actually, I think it's like 76% of adults in the United States have at least one chronic health disease, and just about 50% have two or more. So that's pretty pathetic for, our country. Um, okay, so let's go on to page 2. So packaged cubed potatoes and packaged shredded hash browns. How many of you show up and somebody's got those cheesy potatoes and you see those perfect little cubes in the tray? They did not cut those themselves. Or you go to breakfast and they have the perfectly shredded hash browns. Yeah, potatoes don't do that. Even if you shred them yourselves, they're a little irregular, and you can tell when they're they've been cut by hand or when they haven't. So they put preservatives in these. They put this sodium bisulfite, causes headaches. It's inflammatory. There's anti-browning agents plus these seed oils because the potato can't. They don't want the potato to brown in the bag because it will naturally, but then the preservatives in it actually prevents them from browning. Like you have to put so much butter and oil to get them to brown. So just fresh potatoes, period. And they taste so much better. There's no flavor in that stuff that's coming out of the bag. Canned pie filling. So if you are tasked with bringing a pie to dinner or to an event or to a party, are you opening up a can and throwing it in a crust also from the store? Corn syrup, thickeners, glucose. I mean, it's just spiking the blood sugar. Fresh fruit, cinnamon, lemon. Like it doesn't take much to just make a regular pie. Now, I might make in a pinch, which I've got somewhere in here, maybe on the next page, about the pie crust. But I'm going to Whole Foods. I'm going to read the labels and I'm going to make sure I'm buying a crust that doesn't have any additives in it because it will also still have a lot of like stabilizers and uh, oils, seed oils. We don't want that. Um, our refrigerated cookie dough. So again, a lot of your cookies that show up at parties, people will go to like what is it, Gordon Food Service here, and they buy the pre-cut Christmas cookies, sugar cookies, and then which I get it, like it's a lot of work. And it's a lot easier to take those and have your kid decorate them and then pop them in the oven. But you know, make cookies with your kids. Like do the thing. Stir the cookie dough. Have them lick the cookie dough off the spoon. Um, Store-bought dinner rolls, dough conditioners, bleach flour, make your own sourdough or from a bakery. Um, and let's see, jarred Alfredo sauce. Again, more gums, oil, stabilizers, monosodium glutamate, all of these things causing GI upset. Homemade Parmesan cream sauce. Again, you make a roux, you make a sauce, throw in your favorite cheese, Parmesan, some sharp cheese, and you've got an Alfredo sauce. Um, Frozen gravy cubes. I wasn't familiar with this, but I did look it up and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it's, you pull the cube out and then you just thaw it. MSG, again, stabilizers, more inflammation. Bone broth based gravy. So I've got my turkey stock out there. I could make turkey gravy if I wanted to. Instant mashed potatoes, that's right up there with these cubed potatoes. Like, ugh, they're so bad. There's just additives, they're emulsifiers, they don't taste like a potato. So you take your regular potatoes. I prefer a yellow potato. There's a lot of flavor in them. There's a lot of nutrients in a potato too. So when you're getting these packaged potatoes, you're missing out on all of these high quality nutrients. Canned green beans. Personally, I think there's many other vegetables on the planet better than a green bean. I don't dislike them. I just don't think they're the most flavorful vegetable. So if they're fresh, maybe I'll eat them, but most of y'all are out there buying a canned green bean and then going and making your green bean casserole with your cream of mushroom soup and those onions from a can. And I mean, really? Let's do better for ourselves, okay? You could do fresh green beans, but you could do frozen green beans. I'll allow that. Because there's really no, it's just frozen, like they flash freeze them. So avoid butter spreads. Or Earth Balance and all of those vegan type spreads. They're just horrible. They're nothing but seed oils, super inflammatory. Buy real grass-fed butter. Uh, butter is Butter's fine. Butter's fine. We cook with butter. We cook with pork fat in this house. We always have a bowl of lard sitting on the counter. It's like so we cook with. Um, okay. Ready made. Oh, and if you cook with like a vegetable oil, canola or something like that, get rid of that. Just toss it. Um, that's so inflammatory. It causes inflammation in the arteries. It causes heart disease. It's one of the most horrific things that you can have. So get rid of your vegetable oil. Go to the avocado oil, olive oil. Avocado oil is good because it has a higher flash point, where olive oil doesn't have a high flash point. So you can actually turn that olive oil into a trans fat at a lower heat when you're cooking with it, rather than using avocado oil. You can use it on a much higher heat and you won't destroy the health value of the oil. Ready made cheesecake filling. That's just cheating. It's just cheating. I mean, it takes a couple days to make a cheesecake. So I feel like if you're going to make it, just do it, or go buy it from a reputable bakery. Again, more artificial stabilizers, just sugar beyond sugar. Um, Greek yogurt cheesecake mixture, if you wanted to. I just think you should, yeah, just make it yourself. Pre-packaged garlic bread. So when you buy those pre-packaged garlic loaves, the oils, the seed oils that are on top, again, preservatives, monosodium glutamate, they put these artificial flavors in there. Uh, Buy a good high quality loaf of bread or make your own, smear it with butter, smear it with fresh garlic, put some herbs on it, put it in the oven for a couple minutes. So much better. Flavored yogurt. There's 20 to 40 grams of sugar plus the dyes, causing an insulin spike. You could do plain Greek yogurt with berries, adding a little vanilla. I make my own yogurt and it's whole milk yogurt. I make that weekly, just about weekly. Also here, don't come at me with then I'll do non artificial sweeteners, because we've had conversations about that. Is that the artificial sweeteners are just as inflammatory. They're damaging to your nervous system. They cause brain inflammation. So, just plain yogurt. It's okay. You've got to start training your palate to not want this stuff. And when you can start to train your palate to not want it, you're going to start to shop for things that are fresh and whole, and they're going to be supporting your health much better and not supporting these big corporations who rely on you being addicted to these foods or food-like substances. Um, Bisquick and boxed mixes. Boy, I loved me some Bisquick. But once I learned how to make actual biscuits with real butter, nothing like it. Nothing like it. Bleached flour, hydrogenated oils. Make your own homemade baking mix. But again, I make biscuits out of my sourdough discard and good quality butter. Canned cheese sauces. I mean, that's just Velveeta in a jar. So make your own cheese sauce. Store-bought eggnog, high fructose corn syrup, emulsifiers, affects mood, sleep, and blood sugar. More gums in there as well. You can make homemade eggnog. It's quite delicious. It's still very rich. You don't really need all that much of it, but it's better to make it. Those cinnamon rolls in the tube, I mean, that's just a disaster. Learn how to make them yourself. I actually am going to make some I'm going to do sourdough cinnamon rolls come towards the holidays. So I'm excited about that. I'll let you know how they turned out. Canned biscuits, same with the cinnamon rolls, more preservatives and oils. Making your own sourdough biscuits. I just love it. And then holiday coffee creamers, sugars, dyes. Hold on, let's see here. Oh, there it is. Sugar, a lot of sugars, dyes, artificial flavors, hormones. So that goes right back to page 1 where Lily ratted out Ken on his coffee creamer. Um, so we really want to do our best to avoid that stuff. So let's get back over here and get this loading up for us. All right, the first comment I see, Lily says, I bake with butter, coconut oil, or lard. I cook with these, add olive oil and stew soup towards the last. Yeah, I usually only put olive oil on like vegetables, like in salads or drizzle it over tomatoes or something like that. Let's see, go back a little bit. Here we go. Okay. Theo says you can make biodegradable organic plastics that don't have adverse health effects. Yeah, I'm sure they can, but it's cheaper to do it this way for those companies, and convenience is a good excuse. It sure is. Yeah, we moved into the whole convenient culture, years ago. Um, I'm going to try making my own pie filling instead of the canned ones. That way I can control the sweetness, jams and jellies as well, for sure. Yeah, people get excited about jams. I don't. I just feel like it's way too much sugar. I'd rather use honey, or like an unsweetened jam. Um, yeah, so the more you can do without adding sugar, the better you are. Um, Kenny says, not everything, just Miracle Whip, Velveeta, and Stovetop, at least so far. Commercial rennet is from Pfizer. Tio, you are going to make me go down a rabbit hole, aren't you? Because, yeah, that is so interesting. Um, SpongeBob is clapping everyone's cheeks these days. Many things that were used by our ancestors that were healthy have been replaced by dangerous substances. So true. And that's where, people are like, oh, my grandfather ate, eggs and meat and biscuits and gravy every day. And yeah, but it was all made from scratch. It didn't have any of these chemicals in it. Lily says, I just took a chocolate banana bread made from scratch, no sugar, 1 tablespoon honey out of the oven. Oh, that sounds amazing. We'll be right over. Kenny says you need to have some green beans uh, raw. Like when you pick them, mom used to pick them. I'd eat them as soon as she'd toss them in the bucket. Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, no, I've had them raw. There's not much I don't like. Not much I don't like. I will eat a raw green bean, but yeah, I was at this restaurant one time with some friends, and I don't remember what I was ordering, and I said, "What's the side vegetable that it comes with?" And he says, "It comes with haricot vert." And my friend goes, "Ooh, that sounds fancy. What is it?" I go, "Green beans." I go, "It's a French green bean. Like, don't get fancy with it. It's a green bean, okay? Like, let's not make it into something that it's not." So there. It will be eye-opening. Okay, you got me, Tio. I'm in on that rabbit hole. I'll let you know what happens the next time I go live and see what I come up with. I think I just went through all of those comments, including whatever you guys had starred on there. So yeah, so there is that. Um, the Lily says the French make jams, jellies using pectin from fruit. So it's only the natural sweetness of the fruit, just in sproutable form. So they sweeten with fruit, apple, pear, no added sugar. Yeah, I know. I will look for a good unsweetened jam or jelly, just having the fruit. That's how I like it. So, okay, let's see where I'm at. I'm on my laptop, so forgive me. I'm live on my phone, but I'm looking at my laptop so I can see the notes, and so I'm trying to keep myself together here because oh, I see, that's right. I've got that two, whatever that was, there we go. Uh, One. Okay. Okay. So if you want that, my email is in the show notes, and I will email that to you. I'm gonna make sure I correct that. I saw those few um, cells were not completely filled in, so I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, I think that's probably a good place to stop because it's a pretty comprehensive list. So, what I want you all to be doing, I want you to take this list and I want you to think about all those things that you have been told that are, oh, they're safe or they're good. And again, it's I forgot who said it, was either Ghetto Hippie or Tio said, death by a thousand cuts, is that you might only eat Cool Whip once a year, but if you're doing something every single day, that's when it gets dangerous. That's when it really starts to affect your health. It's that small little bit of inflammation that you're continuing to drive each and every day that's keeping you into a place of chronic inflammation and chronic illness. It could be, it could be something as simple as like you're just tired all the time. It could be something like maybe you're recovering from cancer. It can be anywhere in between. And so, any health issue, pay attention to the symptoms. Those are your signs. Your body is telling you it needs some help. And so, extracting a lot of this chemical stuff from your system, your body will absolutely thank you for it. Lily says, "Thank you, Dr. Paula. I've already uh I've already put in the request for the list. Perfect. Okay. I will not be answering my email tonight. So I will send that along tomorrow. But yeah, great. I will send that to you. And I have to correct it. So I'll probably correct it tomorrow and then send it along a little bit later. But yeah, you will love it. And here's the thing, this is not a complete list. I liked 30. I liked calling it the dirty 30. So if you guys think of any more that I should the filthy 40. Oh, let's add 10 more and call it the filthy 40. So if you got more ideas of common food-like substances that are causing damage to health, let me know and we can add them in. So I'm going to do a little more research and see if I can find 10 more, and I'll give you guys the filthy 40 next week. So, all right, I think that's about it. If you have any other questions, again, you can send those in the email with the request for the download. And yeah, have a great week. As always, I appreciate you being here. Please make sure. Oh, I did have canned cheese, Tio. That was on the list. But keep those comments coming. But so anyway, so make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're liking, sharing, all the good things so that we can get more eyes on the channel and get some really amazing growth here in 2026. So, all right, you guys have an amazing night. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you on Thursday this week for Chiropractic is Sexy, and then next week on Sunday Night Live for sure. So, yes, Tio, I'm sure I can find 10 more. I'm gonna do that along with my Rennet rabbit hole. So okay. And breads, yeah, breads. I think that's a good one too. There was a lot of swaps in there that talked about putting breads as a swap, like good high quality breads. So we'll get there. Next week I'll add 10 more. I'm on a mission. All right, you guys, have an amazing week. Talk to you soon. Love you all so much. See, did I? Oh wait, let's see.